Hello and welcome to this edition of News on the Hour. I'm Rukma with you, and over the next 1 hour, I'll be taking you through all the latest developments in news as India created history once again today, winning an 11th medal at the Tokyo Paralympics. All the international updates as well, other news from sports as India does well in cricket, and also from other aspects of the world. But first, let's take a look at the headlines. In the Tokyo Paralympics, India wins an 11th medal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulates athlete Praveen Kumar for his achievement. He bagged silver with a new Asian record in high jump. President and Prime Minister and Sports Minister congratulate him. And India's fight against COVID-19 continues. Health Ministry says that a new milestone has been achieved as far as vaccination targets are concerned. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will visit Croatia today, will hold bilateral talks with Foreign Minister Gordon Radman and call on the Croatian leadership. Yesterday, he met President Foreign Affairs Minister of Slovenia, says India welcomes Slovenia's presidency of EU and is confident to take India-EU ties forward. In Assam, flood situation improves slightly. Number of those affected comes down to less than 5 lakhs, while in Bihar, the situation is still grim with over 40 lakh people in the grip of floods. Relief and rescue efforts continue to provide aid to flood victims. At least 40 dead as remnants of Hurricane Ida tear through New York, leaves subways, houses flooded. Mayor of New York declares emergency. And in cricket, India score 191 on first day of fourth cricket test against England. England lose 3 wickets for 54 runs. And now for our top story. In the Tokyo Paralympics today, Indian para-athlete Praveen Kumar bagged the silver medal in the men's high jump T64 event. Praveen jumped more than 2 meters, 2.07 meters to be exact, while Great Britain's Jonathan Broome-Edwards took the gold with a season's best of 2.10 meters in the event. With this win, India's medal tally at the Tokyo Games has risen to 11 with 2 gold medals, 6 silver and 3 bronze. President Ramnath Kovind has congratulated Praveen Kumar. In a tweet, he said, and I quote, "Impressive performance by Praveen Kumar at the Paralympics. Your silver medal in men's high jump with a new Asian record has brought joy to every sports-loving Indian. Your success will inspire all budding athletes. Heartiest congratulations. May you keep on achieving new milestones." Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated him on his feat as well. In his tweet, he said, I quote, "Proud of Praveen Kumar for winning the silver medal at the Paralympics. This medal is the result of his hard work and unparalleled dedication. Congratulations to him. Best wishes for his future endeavors." Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur has also tweeted his congratulations. In his tweet, he said, 11 medals and counting. Stellar performance by Praveen Kumar to win silver for India at Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. New Asian record with a jump of 2.7 meters. This is a Paralympic Games like no other. The Indian badminton contingent are in sensational form today at the Games as they notched up a spectacular series of wins, moving one step closer to claiming a place on the podium and getting a medal around their necks. The mixed doubles pair of Palak Kohli and Pramod Bhagat essayed a sensational win against the Thai duo of Timarom Siripong and Sainsupa Nipada in straight games 21-15, 21-19 in just a minute shy of the half-an-hour mark. Manoj Sarkar and Pramod Bhagat already have reached the semi-finals in MS SL3. In the badminton men's singles group stage, Suhas El Yathiraj beat Indonesia's Susanto Hari 21-6, 21-12. And our correspondent Tapas Bharacharya joins us now as we try to get an idea of him about what these wins mean today. Tapas, first of all, Praveen Kumar's spectacular feat, adding another feather to India's cap as far as these Paralympics are concerned.
Absolutely, without an iota of doubt, Praveen Kumar has made all of us day in the morning when we were there watching the Paralympic Games. He was almost at one point of time gunning for the gold, but had to settle for silver. But nevertheless, it was a huge achievement from the Indian, and one has to actually appreciate the Sports Authority of India, the Sports Ministry, as well as the Sports Authority of India, the top scheme. And this particular athlete, Praveen Kumar, was sent on a foreign exposure trips on big international competitions were provided, and all the expenses were borne by the government of India. And he used to train in Delhi's Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. So a huge achievement, and for a guy who, when he was young, he used to feel himself a little, because of one of his leg was shorter than since birth. He used to feel a little underconfident, but once he started getting into sports, once he got the exposures and the support from the government of India, look what he has achieved. This is a huge achievement. This is the 4th medal coming from high jump, and also this is the 11th medal for the country in the Paralympics, and this is not yet over. So far, Avani Lakera is also right now competing in her event, and one expects that she woman in the women's 50-meter rifle 3 position. So she is right now in the 4th position, and let's see how the 3 events panned out. And she will be also looking forward to making her mark. Remember, Avani has also won 1 gold, so she will be she will love to top it up with another gold in the 50-meter rifle 3 position. It's still early time, but we have to see. But the day has been made by Praveen Kumar, who has bagged India's 4th medal in the long jump category.
And setting a new Asian record as well, Tapas. Meanwhile, all eyes on the badminton team. Great hopes on that front as well.
Yes, badminton team, the first time badminton is making their debut, and what a way to start. In fact, we've been told, that both El Suhas as well as the other players, for instance, this particular pair of Palak Kohli and Pramod Bhagat in the mixed doubles have also made it to the semi-finals. So a huge boost for them. Then there is Manoj Sarkar and Pramod Bhagat they have also reached the semi-final in the MS SL3 category. So the badminton team, which has always been a very strong point and which is making its debut in this particular Paralympic game, it is expected that they are expected to bag some medals in the days to come. And already 11 medals for the Paralympic committee, the Paralympic team. and they are expected. Before they left for the country for Tokyo, they said that they would like to double the medal count that the Olympic medalists have done. 7 medals have come from the Olympics. They said that before leaving for Tokyo, they said that they want to double that. So there are already 11 medal up there, another 3 to go, and the way it is looking, I won't be surprised if they manage to bag 14 medals in this particular competition. But all eyes right now on Avani Lakera in the 50 meters rifle free position category. She is right now in the 4th position, and she will love to win a medal in this category also.
Right, Tapas. All eyes on Lakera, as you say. She has already had a major achievement in these games, and many thanks for joining us there with those details. And now an update on the COVID-19 situation from across India. In the past 24 hours, 34,791 patients have recovered from the virus. So far, a total of 3,20,63,616 have recovered across India. Our recovery rate stands at 97.45%. As we reported, 45,352 new cases in the past 24 hours. The active caseload now stands at 3,99,778. Active cases presently constitute 1.22% of the country's total positive cases. The weekly positivity rate continues to be below 3% for the past 70 days and is now at 2.66%. Daily positivity rate is currently at 2.72%. The testing capacity across the country has been ramped up. More than 52 crore 65 lakh cases have been conducted across India so far. And India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed the 67 crore landmark milestone. Cumulatively, 67 crore 9 lakhs 59,968 beneficiaries have been inoculated so far. More than 74 lakh 84,000 vaccine doses have been were administered on Thursday. The Union government is also fully alert in view of the mutation of the virus in South Africa and Colombia. Travelers coming in from Britain, Europe, South Africa and New Zealand will now have to carry a negative RT-PCR report, but will also have to undergo an RT-PCR test on arrival at the airport in India.
यूके, यूरोप और मिडिल ईस्ट शामिल थे, उसमें कुछ और देश शामिल किए हैं। ये देश हैं साउथ अफ्रीका, बांग्लादेश, बोत्सवाना, चाइना, मॉरिशस, न्यूजीलैंड और जिम्बाब्वे। यानी अब यूनाइटेड किंगडम, यूरोप, मिडिल ईस्ट, साउथ अफ्रीका, बांग्लादेश, बोत्सवाना, चाइना, मॉरिशस, न्यूजीलैंड और जिम्बाब्वे से आने वाले अंतर्राष्ट्रीय ट्रैवलर्स को न केवल नेगेटिव आरटी-पीसीआर टेस्ट करवा के ही फ्लाइट पर चढ़ना होगा, बल्कि भारत में आने के बाद हवाई अड्डे पर उन्हें फिर से आरटी-पीसीआर टेस्ट कराने होंगे और उसके रिजल्ट के आधार पर हमें जो भी क्वारंटाइन, आइसोलेशन, हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन की कार्रवाई करनी होगी वो हम करने के लिए स्वतंत्र होंगे। इसकी जानकारी सभी राज्यों को दे दी गई है क्योंकि ये 31 अगस्त को आदेश निकाला गया था और राज्यों में जो हवाई अड्डे हैं वहाँ जो हमारे इंटरनेशनल एयरपोर्ट हेल्थ ऑफिस होते हैं उनको भी ये जानकारी दे दी गई है और ये प्रक्रिया अब प्रभावी हो गई है, लागू हो गई है।
And in view of the festival season, Niti Aayog has cautioned more carefulness. Addressing a press conference, Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul said that those who have been vaccinated too must wear masks and follow appropriate COVID behavior.
The key message that we all wish to convey with humility is that we have to be careful. We have to be careful particularly in the context of the festival season that is coming up. The change in weather would mean more mixing may happen, and therefore a very strong plea to all of us that even as we accelerate uptake of the vaccination program, we embrace the vaccines, we have everybody becoming part of the vaccinated population, our precautions must continue and get intensified. मास्क उतारने का, मास्क के बिना जीने का भी कोई मौका नहीं आया है.
While the COVID vaccination campaign is on at an accelerated pace, Niti Aayog member Dr. V.K. Paul further said that there is the need to create awareness among pregnant women about vaccination.
प्रेग्नेंट विमेन का वैक्सीनेशन का कार्यक्रम और तेज गति से आगे आए. लगता है कि उतने लोग नहीं जुड़ पाए हैं जितने कि जुड़ने चाहिए. ये मैसेजिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है कि ये वैक्सीन गर्भवती महिला के लिए ज़रूरी है, उनकी अपनी सेहत के लिए, उनके बेबी के लिए.
And the central government continues to provide COVID vaccines through free of cost channels and through direct state procurement categories to states and union territories. In total, over 65 crore vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far, with over 4 crore 36 lakhs balance and unutilized vaccine doses still available with states and union territories. Furthermore, over 1,20,000 vaccine doses are still in the pipeline. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia visited the Indian Council of Medical Research along with Union MOS for Health and Family Welfare Dr. Bharati Praveen Pawar. The Health Minister reviewed the ongoing work in research and also discussed new ideas and innovations in the same with scientists of the premier research body. The Union Health Minister also released the national list of essential medicines and said that he is proud of our scientist community and their crucial role in mitigating the pandemic. He also encouraged ICMR to promote research that will fulfill Prime Minister Narendra Modi's dream of a healthy India. And due to the situation arising out of COVID-19, a number of foreigners who had come to India on various types of visas prior to March 2020 are now stranded here in the absence of flights to their destinations. The central government had facilitated the stay of such foreign nationals within India by providing deemed extension of their regular visas or e-visas or stay stipulation period on gratis basis without levy of any overstay penalty. This facility, which was presently available till the 31st of August, has now been extended by the central government till September 30th, 2021. Such foreign nationals will not be required to submit any application to the FRRO or FRO concerned for extension of their visas till the 30th of September this year. Before exiting the country, they may apply online for an exit permission on eFRRO portal, which would be granted by the FRRO or FRO concerned on gratis basis without levy of any overstay penalty. If an extension of visa is required beyond the 30th of September, the foreign national concerned may apply for extension of visa on the online eFRRO platform on payment basis, which would be considered by the FRRO or FRO concerned subject to the eligibility as per the extant guidelines. However, Afghan nationals already in India on any category of visa will be granted extension of visa under guidelines issued separately for Afghan nationals. On the second leg of his three-nation visit, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will today visit Croatia, where he will hold bilateral talks with Foreign Minister of Croatia. External Affairs Minister will also call on the Croatian leadership. During his visit to Denmark on the 4th and the 5th of September, EAM will co-chair the fourth round of the Indo-Danish Joint Commission meeting along with Foreign Minister Jeppe Kofod. The JCM will undertake a comprehensive review of her bilateral cooperation under the Green Strategic Partnership established during the virtual summit in September last year. EAM will also call on various Danish dignitaries. The visit of Dr. S. Jaishankar will provide an opportunity to review the progress of bilateral ties with the three Central European countries and strengthening the multifaceted relationship with the EU. On the first leg of his visit, the External Affairs Minister had paid a visit to Slovenia. He called on the Slovenian leadership on Thursday. External Affairs Minister thanked Slovenia's President Borut Pahor for his gracious welcome and said that he deeply appreciated the long-standing support for India-Slovenia ties. Both leaders discussed key challenges facing India and the EU. Dr. Jaishankar also met his counterpart, Foreign Minister of Slovenia, Anže Logar. He said that both leaders had good discussions on deepening our political and economic relationship and EU-related cooperation. They had good exchange of views on Afghanistan and the Indo-Pacific. External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar also attended the BLED Strategic Forum held in Slovenia and participated in a panel discussion on partnership for a rules-based order in the Indo-Pacific.
For a long time, Indian diplomacy was focused on the larger European national states. So one of the first things I did when I became Foreign Minister was actually to visit Brussels. And I tried to make it a point to actually make sure that we engage all the 27 EU members, which is why I'm particularly happy to be in Slovenia today. Because we do realize Europe is a collective enterprise, and you need in a collective enterprise to kind of have all the stakeholders with you as part of as much as possible. I do see a lot of issues where India and Europe have meeting points, and it's important to come to Europe, engage your European counterparts, discuss it with them. And one of them is actually, where does Europe stand vis-a-vis Asia and the Indo-Pacific? Because I would argue that especially after 2008, for reasons which we all know, Europe has been much more reticent about articulating its interests and backing that up beyond its immediate confines. And in a globalized world, that is not even in Europe's own interest. So Europe needs to know that it has friends in Asia, in the Indo-Pacific, that a lot of principles and values and outlook that Europe has, a lot of other countries share it.
Well, joining us now is our correspondent Meghna Dev. Meghna, a very good morning to you once again. Earlier in the day, you told us about the significance of the External Affairs Minister's visit. Well, let's discuss in detail about his visit in Croatia. Could Croatia emerge as a major trade partner? A major, what would be the next step in ties between the two countries who have always had cordial relations as far as a result of this visit of the External Affairs Minister?
For that, the External Affairs Minister's visit to Croatia, or we can actually collectively call it that he's on a visit to these Central EU member countries. And what extremely important here is to understand that at the BLED Strategic Forum also, the External Affairs Minister has said that India recognizes the European Union as a collective enterprise. So, it's just, though he's just visiting, 3 countries for now, but it is definitely, in a broader perspective, we can see it enhancing cooperation and coordination with the European Union. So, what actually, we already have a roadmap to 2025, which the leaders had endorsed at the, India-EU summit, which was in 2020, which was held in 2020 in July. And in that, there were several subjects outlined, several areas of cooperation that were on, outlined, underlined, that be it maritime security, be it counterterrorism, be it education, be it environment, even the climate crisis, which both the countries lay extreme emphasis on. That was also discussed. Besides that, also be it renewable energy, sustainable energy, MSMEs, SMEs, startups. All of this will also be discussed at the forum. Extremely important is, discussed during the talk. These bilateral talks are extremely crucial as well, because, while we know that European Union is one of the very important trade partners for India, one of the very major, places where we get the FDI from. So, trade relations extremely crucial. We also know that cyberspace is one area of cooperation where European Union and India have been saying and have, the same thought that it should be an open, secure, safe cyberspace. Besides that, military to military exchange. One more thing is very crucial, because when we have seen that the External Affairs Minister has been going, to different countries lately, and has been reiterating the cooperation during the pandemic, which is extremely crucial. And basically, this reiterates the fact that the joint working group that is there already between India and EU, that is working on biotechnology, pharmaceuticals, or also for that matter on medical devices, this will also be something that will be touched upon. So there are several sectors which the bilateral talks will, obviously comprehensively cover. Very importantly, the situation in Afghanistan will also be the center of talk.
Well, Meghna, we'll have to leave it at that. Many thanks for joining us. And now moving on to other news stories. Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan will today virtually meet Vice Chancellors of 45 central universities under the Ministry of Education. He has been meeting Vice Chancellors of different universities in the past month. This will be the first formal meeting of the Education Minister with Central University Vice Chancellors in a group. Discussions will be held on implementation of the National Education Policy 2020 Academic Bank of Credit, multiple entry-exit system, open and online education, glue grant for educational institutions, and start of academic session 2021-22. The discussion will also be held on steps to fill up the backlog of vacancies of teachers of SC, ST, OBC and EWS categories, and celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In Assam, the flood situation is witnessing some improvement, especially in the past 24 hours, as the number of those affected has come down to below 5 lakhs from the previous 6,47,000. Due to a decreasing rainfall in the last couple of days, the number of those affected as far as villages are concerned, reeling underwater, have started declining. Presently, 1,230 villages are submerged under 56 revenue circles in 21 districts. However, the death toll due to the flood this season has gone up to 5, with 2 more persons losing their lives, one each in Kamrup and Morigao districts in the past 24 hours. 105 relief and distribution centers have been set up across the state, the highest of 66 in Golaghat, where above 4,000 inmates are taking shelter. Continuing the rescue operations, various agencies such as SDRF and other local teams have evacuated around 911 people in the past 24 hours, mostly in Lower Assam. Nalbari district remains the worst hit, with the highest number of those affected, and which numbering about 1,10,000, followed by Golaghat and Darang districts. Meanwhile, in several districts of North Bihar, the flood situation continues to be grim as all major rivers in the area are in spate due to incessant heavy rains in catchment areas in Nepal. The sudden rise in the water levels of many rivers due to continuous rains have thrown life out of gear. More than 40 lakh people in 26 districts have been affected by floods. These districts include Darbhanga, Madhubani, Gopalganj, East Champaran and West Champaran, among others. Rail traffic between Samastipur and Darbhanga is still disrupted. And joining us now is our correspondent Salman Haider, who joins us from Patna. Salman, where are you right now, and what is the latest update on the flood situation? We believe it continues to be grim, and incessant rains are not helping the situation at all.
I am at state headquarters Patna right now, Rupma. Now, East Champaran is the worst affected, where the people are facing the wrath of flood for the 5th consecutive time in this season only. So, the incessant rain in Nepal has caused the sudden rise of various rivers, including Gandak, Bagmati, and others. So, the Bagmati, Sikrahana, Lal Bakaiya, these are the tributaries of Gandak. The level rise is continuing here, and about 100 feet of approach road of a bridge located in Jatwa Phulwar main road in Banjaria block of East Champaran has washed away by the flood waters. So NDRF and SDRF teams are engaged in flood relief and rescue operations. Around 300 boats have been deployed in different districts that are worst hit by the floods for transportation as well as reaching relief material to the stranded people. And also the medicine supply and boat ambulances have also been deployed there. Moreover, the paddy crop has been badly hit by the floods. These are the things here, and around 30 to 40 lakh population is facing the wrath of flood right now. Yes.
Right, so 30 to 40 lakh people severely affected by floods. Meanwhile, no let up in incessant rains causing the rivers in the catchment areas to continue to swell. So, very grim situation, particularly in Champaran, as you said. Salman, will you keep your eyes on that story, even as we continue to get regular updates from you on the situation. Many thanks for joining us. And in the Union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, last night there was an infiltration attempt along the line of control in the Poonch sector. However, the bid was foiled by effective firing by alert Indian troops. Further details are awaited. Lieutenant General P.G.K. Menon, GOC Fire and Fury Corps reviewed the operational preparedness of Snow Leopard Brigade yesterday through integrated maneuver and live fire exercise in Ladakh. And it's time now for a short break, but there's more up ahead here on News on the Hour on DD India. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Namaste India.
Namaste Land.
Marhaban ila al-Hind.
Hindu, ni
hao.
Salam India. Namaste India.
Namaskar Bharata.
نحن هنود India.
माँ हिंदी हस्ती
Hindian.
Salam Hindustan.
We are India.
Your window to rising India. India's voice on global platforms. Latest news from India and around the world. In-depth analysis of global headlines. Watch DD India in your country. Available for downlink in all Southeast Asian countries. STTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 17 at 93.5 degrees east. HDTV broadcast is available through the satellite GSAT 10 at 83 degrees east. For technical details, scan here. Switch to DD India now.
Welcome back after the break. In other news, as we celebrate Poshan Ma or Nutrition Month, the community radio of Kevadia is playing an important role in spreading the message, especially amongst tribals and rural areas. Vishal Baristo brings you this special report from Kevadia in Gujarat.
Whole country is celebrating Poshan Maha, which means 1 month of nutrition. I am here at Radio Unity studio and I have with me 2 young RJs and they are spreading the message of health and nutrition. I have 2 young RJs, Neelam and Guru. So welcome to Radio Unity. Neelam, starting off with you as an RJ, how do you spread the message of nutrition and health?
When our Kevadia is celebrating the Poshan Ma, so this is a very proud moment for us. We both give information about the nutrition and what are the healthy foods and what you have to do and what you have to don't. Yes.
So do's and don't is her mantra. Let's talk to Guru. How many people are you reaching out to?
It's around 20 villages there. And the radio community is reaching there, and we are giving message to what we have to eat and what we don't have to eat. And one more thing here, our Arogyavan is there. Arogyavan, it's we are giving medicinal value. We are giving medicinal value details about plants and all these things. So what we have to eat and what don't have to eat.
Radio community is also for all those who come and visit Kevadia. A lot of people are coming here. We'll go back to Neelam. Neelam, when you tell them what to do and what not to do, so are there any specific ideas that you have that you can make it more entertaining for the people so that they readily follow what you are saying?
Yes, information about the all group of age, like ladies and some of the gents and children in between every age, like newborn baby. First of all, we give only mother's milk for 6 months, and after 6 months we will give them some homemade food like dal, rice soup. So I will give information about it and also give information about the pregnant lady and what are the healthy food for them, what are the healthy food for children. That's
okay. So she would be focusing on women and child subject, but I'll go to Guru again. Guru, when it comes to young children or even youngsters, they are more prone to fast food. I mean, they have a habit of going for fast food. So how would you convince them, giving them local examples?
Like we have to give khati bindi, that is sarbat is there, and if someone wants, they can go argue and they can drink over there.
What is the medicinal value of khatti bhindi?
They control blood pressure and cholesterol. They reduce cholesterol also.
So it's a very nice thing that you start off with the local things that are available, so that people get connected to it, they get the message, and they all follow it. But it is not only about the community radio or the surrounding villages, it is about me and you. So we all have to be fit, and for that we have to strictly follow do's and don'ts, and we have to follow nature. With cameraman Sumit and Pramod, this is Vishal Baristu, Radio Unity, Kevadia.
And still on the topic of nutrition, iron, as we know, is an essential nutrient for hemoglobin and blood production. Foods high in vitamin C help the body to better absorb iron. Let's find out the role iron plays in our health.
Iron deficiency can cause many health problems. What is the importance of iron for our health? To talk about this, we have with us Dr. Umesh Kapil. Welcome, Dr. Kapil.
Thank you.
Dr. Kapil, what is the importance and requirement of iron for our health?
Our body needs iron for making hemoglobin, which prevents us from anemia or less blood in our body.
What food items are rich in iron and can prevent iron deficiency?
The foods which are rich in iron are pulses, green leafy vegetables, lobia, rajma, and non-vegetarian foods which except egg, all these foods, all the non-vegetarian foods are rich in iron.
Iron is the mineral that plays a vital role for our health. So do consume iron-rich diet to prevent iron deficiency. Kiran Bharadwaj, DD News.
And in our regular saga of freedom, in today's episode, we bring you the story of eminent freedom fighter and revered Gandhian, Kamlapati Tripathi. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest movements the modern world has ever witnessed, and could not have been possible if not for our unsung heroes who made such significant contribution in the fight for freedom.
The eminent freedom fighter and revered Gandhian Kamlapati Tripathi was born on this day in 1905. His father's name was Pandit Narayanpati Tripathi, and his ancestors had settled down in Varanasi during 16th, 17th century. He started his career as a journalist with the Hindi newspaper Aaj, and later established the newspaper Sansar. He was also the editor of the two tabloids. He participated in the non-cooperation movement in the United Province, now Uttar Pradesh, in 1920, the civil disobedience movement in 1930, and the Quit India movement in 1942, for which he was arrested and imprisoned on several occasions. Kamlapati Tripathi was elected to the Constituent Assembly from United Province and played an important part in the drafting of the Constitution of India. He is quite famous for his speech on the amendment of the expression India, that is Bharat. In his words, it would have been more in accordance with the prestige and the traditions of the country, and the Constituent Assembly if this amendment was made.
After independence, Kamlapati held various portfolios in the state government. He became the Deputy Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh in 1969 and later the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh in 1971 and remained in chair for 2 years. After that, he served as the Union Minister for Railways 2 times. He carried the distinctive image of a courteous, dignified and principled politician. He was totally committed and devoted to the field of journalism and Hindi. He advocated for including journalism as a course in graduate and postgraduate level. The Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at Mahatma Gandhi Kashi Vidyapeeth was established in 1945 by him. He was the chairman of the Hindi Sahitya Sammelan from 1947 to 1948. Kamlapati's notable works reflect his sustained love for Gandhi, including Bapu Aur Bharat, Bapu Aur Manavta, and freedom movements and afterward.
Pandit Kamlapati is an inspiration and a guiding spirit for us all. He had the exceptional ability to connect with the swiftly changing situations of the modern times while keeping his traditional commitments intact. His personality was a balance and blend of religious beliefs and secularism. He was a leader of the masses and believed in treating all people alike regardless of their caste or religion. He would always be remembered as a true nationalist, a principled leader, and a champion of development and people-oriented politics.
And in other news, Foreign Secretary Harshvardhan Shringla yesterday called on US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Discussions between the leaders touched on bilateral ties and the situation in Afghanistan. Later, Foreign Secretary Shringla also met US Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman for substantive discussions on advancing India-US strategic ties across sectors, including in health care, defense and security, trade and investment, S&T, climate change, clean energy, and people-to-people ties. Even as the Taliban is preparing to form the government in Kabul, the government of India has said that it will revisit the issue of evacuation of stranded Indian nationals in Afghanistan and of safe passage to Afghan nationals wanting to come to India after the Kabul airport, which has been closed for now, becomes operational again. Spokesperson of India's Ministry of External Affairs has asserted that our primary and immediate concern is that Afghan soil should not be used for terrorism.
Piles of black and white Taliban flags seen in a room on a social media post as preparations continue for the formation of a new government in Afghanistan. The images were uploaded by Ahmadullah Muttaqi, the chief of the multimedia branch for the Cultural Commission of what they call the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. In a tweet, he said, "The Ministry of Information and Cultural Affairs has made arrangements for the upcoming ceremony in the Presidential Palace. The announcement of the new government will be made in this upcoming ceremony." India has maintained that official talks with Taliban were held in Doha, where we expressed our concerns about the use of the Afghan soil for terrorism directed against India. The Indian government was closely watching the situation through a special high-level group. An evacuation of stranded Indian nationals and Afghans wanting to come to India will be revisited after the Kabul airport becomes operational again.
हमारा जो मेन कंसर्न है, one of the primary immediate concern is that Afghan soil should not be used for terrorist, anti-Indian activities or terrorism against India. I think you saw that in our press release. हमने इस बारे में काफी कह रखा। ये हमारा एक मेन मुद्दा है। Let's just treat the Doha meeting for what it is. It is just a meeting, and I think these are still very early days. We think the vast majority Indians जो निकलना चाहते थे निकल गए हैं वहाँ से। हमारी जो अफगानिस्तान स्पेशल सेल है उनसे कांटेक्ट में है, पर लेट मी एम्फसाइज वास्ट मेजॉरिटी निकल गए हैं, बहुत कम लोग बाकी होंगे इंडियंस हैं कुछ पक्का, क्योंकि हम वी आर इन टच विद देम। दोहा मीटिंग में हमने इस बात पे हमारी जो कंसर्न है ये हमने उसको कन्वे तो कर दिया है।
In an interview to a Western media channel, the deputy head of the Taliban political office in Qatar, Sher Abbas Stanakzai, said Taliban could have announced their new government as soon as they reached Kabul, but they had delayed to consult different ethnic groups. He added that the members of the government will be selected as per their merit. Responding to a question, he said people like Hamid Karzai may not be part of a future government, especially not in the top posts. Accepting the drastic change in Afghanistan, Kabul residents are keenly waiting for an end to the chaos with the formation of a new government. Residents in a Kabul market said they were happy because thefts and extortion had come to an almost total standstill out of fear of the Islamic Emirate, as the Taliban called themselves. Bureau Report, DD India.
And amidst the Taliban sweeping through Afghanistan with remarkable speed, There is a small valley of anti-Taliban resistance just northeast of the capital, Panjshir. It stands guard and is refusing to give up. Dozens of Taliban fighters are said to have been killed in skirmishes along its borders since the 15th of August when Kabul fell, and fighting continues here. The valley in eastern Afghanistan has become the home of the National Resistance Front, a multi-ethnic group of militia and former Afghan security force members, reportedly numbering in the thousands. While the militant group has been pushing the idea that the Taliban's Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is home for all Afghans, the Panjshir Valley's resistance, right on the doorstep of the capital, is a blow to this particular image of unity. Meanwhile, as Afghanistan's Taliban rulers prepare to unveil their new government, some Kabul residents say they are worried about the future at a time when the economy is teetering near collapse. Kabul residents say people want to go abroad because there are no jobs in Afghanistan. Others are afraid they will not have access to education. Activity at the airport in Kabul was at a standstill on Thursday, with armed Taliban fighters patrolling the area and conducting checks on vehicles driving nearby. The Taliban have tried to present a more moderate face to the world since they swept Kabul. And United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has expressed his deep concern at the deepening humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. In a tweet, the UN chief called on all parties to facilitate the safe and unimpeded humanitarian access for supplies and for all humanitarian workers in the country. He also said extra food, shelter and health supplies must be urgently fast-tracked into Afghanistan amid a severe drought and with a harsh winter on the horizon. And British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said it is clear for months that the situation in Afghanistan could go very fast. Johnson's comments come a day after Foreign Minister Dominic Raab said Britain's intelligence service had assessed that the Taliban would only consolidate its control of Afghanistan in the months after Western countries had evacuated their troops. Even though the Taliban's intent to seize control was clear, Raab said the West misjudged its capacity to do so as quickly as it did. He added that there were clearly lessons to be learned from what happened.
It's been clear for many months that the situation could go very fast, and that has been in part of the intelligence briefing. There have also been suggestions, as you know, that the Afghan National Defence Force, Army Defence Force might hold on for longer. But logically, you can see what happened. Once people felt in Afghanistan, once the people in the Afghan army felt that they were no longer going to be getting that American air cover, then I think the logic for them became really to end their resistance, and so things did go faster. But you can see the extent of the planning that's been put into this, into outfitting. You can see the immense effort, the care, the thought, the dedication of our armed forces. I really congratulate them. As for the work of the government, it's been going on continuously.
And meanwhile, Germany is ready to resume a diplomatic presence in Kabul if the Taliban meet certain conditions. Foreign Minister Heiko Maas said Germany wants to see an inclusive government and human and women's rights respected, and Afghanistan would not become a hotspot for terrorism. Unlike Russia and China, the EU and most Western countries have closed their embassies in Kabul. Maas said there was a new reality in Afghanistan and the EU had to act fast to find a common position and play a role in the country in the future. Well, we've come to the end of this edition of News on the Hour, but before we go, we leave you with glimpses of a colorful designer vegetable carving exhibition organized in Coimbatore down south. to capture the interest of the public towards food and nutrition this month on the occasion of Poshan Mah. Take a look and enjoy. Namaskar.